So now we're going to look at the meanings of the moon card. So the moon card is a really crucial phase of the Fool's journey. It's one that must be navigated successfully for us to fully embrace the authenticity, truth and self-illumination that's offered by the Sun card, which comes next on the journey. So the moon card will often highlight to us the false persona that we wear and could have worn for many years in order to fit in or be accepted by others. This false persona will include parts of us that aren't real, that aren't true to us. So ways of being or even interests that we don't really have, but we hold them as who we are in order to fit in. It can also be the aspects of us that we've buried, that we've pushed deep down to not be seen, and it can be that they've been buried so deep down that even we don't know they're there, or we don't know they're part of us. These aspects of self are usually things that we buried deep because of past experiences where in some way or another we were rejected. Those parts of us were rejected by others. So the moon card will ask us to listen to the messages that our subconscious is giving us. We need to pay attention to our dreams because often there'll be clues there. What we often don't realise as well is that it's in these hidden parts of ourselves that we have incredible gifts and amazing things to offer. And we don't see that, but the moon card wants to highlight that to us. The moon talks about anything unknown, things that are hidden. It talks about the subconscious and intuition. The moon often will represent lies, dishonesty or deception, or even secrets. The moon card will often represent anything that isn't quite as it seems to be. It's illusion, it can be confusion, miscommunication, things that lack clarity. It can come up as a caution or a warning around people, situations or things being offered to us. So it can mean that before we act or make a decision on something, we should gain more information. We need to get more clarity around it. We need to make sure that we've got all of the information, because maybe what we're being presented with isn't the whole deal or the whole thing. So how the moon might show up in readings would be in relationships. It could indicate hidden issues within the relationship. It could indicate secrets within the relationship. It would suggest that you need to use your intuition. It could mean that for you in the relationship you may have some unresolved issues or some fears that you need to face that might be affecting the relationship or all of your relationships. In health, it could mean in health that you might need to get a second opinion. Maybe the diagnosis didn't feel right, or you didn't feel like it quite matched your symptoms. There's something off, or maybe you felt that you weren't given all the information around your condition or your treatment, so you need to gain more clarity there. In career, it could suggest if you're being offered a job, to look more deeply into it. Maybe not everything is as it appears. Maybe it looks too good to be true. Maybe there's there's some more digging you need to do. You need to get some more information around it, because it could be a warning that it's not quite what it's being sold as, and so then if you take the job, you might be quite disappointed. So it would suggest that before accepting the position, that more consideration would be needed. Going back to health, it could show up in the way of an unexplained anxiety that you're suddenly feeling that seems to have come out of nowhere, and this would suggest that the anxieties could be rooted in the subconscious, and that working with the subconscious would be a good idea. So maybe going to a therapist that deals with that, or even something like hypnosis. The moon could also indicate the development of psychic abilities and a strong intuition. If that was something you were interested in, it could suggest maybe joining a spiritual group or a psychic development group. So it can suggest deception. It could indicate that somebody around you is not being truthful to you, somebody's lying to you, or it could be pointing out where you might be deceiving yourself, where you're not being honest with yourself about a situation, or even who you are in presenting to the world, which was what we talked about earlier with the persona. It can also suggest miscommunication, so it can suggest misunderstanding or even hidden agendas. It's asking you to seek clarity and to maybe not take things at face value. So that's it for the moon, and tomorrow we will be looking at the sun.